This information is a product of Dayo Adetiloye Lagos Live Seminar. For any enquiries, call or WhatsApp 08060779290. Stay tuned and enjoy the teaching. Thanks.
Most of the time, people love to hear about money. You hear that somebody have received grants or loan or support for their either business or their NGO, and you are wondering how is that possible. So we are going to quickly go through the slide. If you have question, you can point my attention to it at any point in time. Now the slide will be given to us, so you might not necessarily write anything down. What you can do is to write your thoughts, maybe your action point when you leave here, what you will go and do. So that's what you should write down. So we are going to send you this slide, and we've tried to give you some printed materials that will guide you along the way. So why the team vehicles to becoming millionaire in 2018? I know that some of us were already millionaires, while some of us we are trying to. And we look at what we want to present today, and looking at the team that will really fit it and capture the entire opportunity we want to share here today. And from experience, one of the things I try to do before I introduce something to people, I try to participate in those things. I try to learn them. I try to even make success out of it before introducing it to people. So that's what I do with grants. There is no grant that I introduce to people that I personally don't try to apply. Why? Because when I'm a success, it sells my service faster. So when I tell you that this grant, I've won it before. So if I'm talking, you will listen. But if I'm telling you that I've not won this grant before, but we can help you, you'll be like, first go and win it. When you win it, you come back and meet me. So most of the time we try as much as possible to apply for those grants ourselves. If not ourselves, our family members, the ones that they are our immediate successes that we can show to people. And from there, we can now work with other people to do it. So over the years, we've won some grants. So let's see some of those things. Now here I said, who are these people 30 years ago? And I'm looking at you now in the next 30 years. What are we going to name you with? What will people say about you in the next 30 years? It's not about what you are now. That, okay, few people know about me, what I'm doing. But in the next 30 years, what will people say about you? Will you just be among the numbers, or you will stand out? You will distinguish yourself in your field. And the pictures we are seeing here, you will see that we have different people: female, male, young, a bit older, people in their 60s, people in their 50s, people in their 40s, in their 30s. And these people, some of them, within the space of 10 years, they change their own field and they become an icon in their field. In the space of 10 years, some 20 years, some 30 years. And they were working every day to make sure that they are successful in their field. So the question to you today is, the next 30 years, what you will become in the next 30 years must be deliberate. It must not be what just happens to you. You must happen to life. You must be able to say, in the next 30 years, this is what I want to become, so help me God. You now go to work, because you are not going to get there just by sleeping, waking up, not putting effort. You are going to exert energy on yourself, on your business, on the people that works with you. You are going to be learning new skills every day to get to the position you want to get to in the next 30 years. So, Tony Elumelu Foundation, in 2016, I was part of the participants and I was given a grant by the organization. Now, I applied for that grant the previous year and I was not selected. So in 2015, that was the time the program started. I applied, they didn't pick me. But some people that we work together with, they picked them. But I still go ahead to apply again the second time, and I was selected the second time. Now, the third time, we begin to work with people. So they will pick some people, they will not pick some people. And we tell people the reason why they didn't pick you is not because you didn't write it well. Because most times people think it's because I didn't write my business plan well. Sometimes it's because you didn't write it well. But most times it's just because it's a competition, over 100,000 we apply, they want to pick 1,000. So they will drop 9 people to select just one person. So most of the time when we work with people, we just tell them, once you submit, just be praying. If you see your name, glory be to God. If you didn't see your name, glory be to God. And you don't give up. You still try again, you try again. The beauty of their own program is the fact that it's a year engagement of activity. Currently, the people that won for this year, they are already on their online training. They are gradually running up now, and they will go for the Tony Elumelu Forum by October. After the forum, they will start paying them the money, and they will pay all the money. Okay, sir. For this year, 2018, yes. Exactly, a year training. Yes. And the beauty of this application is the fact that if you are 50 years old, you can apply. But you must be above 18 years. So if there is any grant I will recommend today for everybody to participate, is this grant. Why? Because they are picking a lot of people. 1,000, even though in Africa, even though the pool of selection, the number of people that apply year in year out is very large, but it's still very good because of the training you get, the exposure, the forum. Every year they bring at least minimum 2 presidents of African countries. They will come, they will engage the youths, they will ask questions, and the way they do on that platform, if you say you need something like you need to export your products, the Chairman Exportation Council is already sitting. They will just link you together. If you say, okay, I need maybe SON registration, or you need NAVDAC, they'll just call somebody that works there, or most of the time they go for the top officials, their MD, their chairman, their DG. They will be present. They will just link you together, so you get connections, and beyond Nigeria you get African connections. So it's a very good one. Let's move on. Even if you are 80 years old, you can apply. That's the way. Most of the grants between 18 and 35, that's how they peg it, most of the grants. But for Tony Elumelu grant, it doesn't have the upper limit, but the lower limit is you must be above 18 years. So that's how they do it. Now, the program you are interested in, BET, this one is Budding Entrepreneurs Today. It's sponsored by Diamond Bank, and every year they select top 50 innovative businesses to go for training in Lagos Business School. So I have the opportunity to be selected. I think it's 2015. So almost like 6 months activity with them. And in Lagos Business School is networks. Some people pay money. The program that this grant will take you through, some people pay 1 point something million to go and attend it on their own, just because they want to build capacity and they want to network. So if you have the opportunity and you selected, then it's a good one for you. And at the end of the activity, top 5 businesses will be given 3 million naira each as grants. All right, but we also tell people that if you are part of the top 50, one thing that thing we give to you is capacity to attract funding opportunities beyond the 3 million that they are giving to top 5, because knowledge is very important. If you know enough, you will attract any resources you want for your business. So let's move on. So first level of preparation. Okay. Yes. 16, yes. So if you look at my profile, you will see some of those fellowships that and grants that I've won. You see it in my profile. You see the date. Like about 2 weeks ago, I was in Abuja, and is for a training and coaching program. I'm still going to talk about that. I've distributed the handbill for the opportunity. If your business is based in Ogun State or Niger State or Plateau State, you can also access that opportunity. It's not a grant, but it's a capacity building program, like what you need for your business now. If they discover your business, they will be interested in working with you to build your capacity. So let me quickly run through the slide so that we can have more time for question. So the first level of preparation, have access to the internet. Sometimes most people will call me and say they check their email once a week, some maybe twice a week, and you are looking for grants opportunity. It doesn't work that way. You have to be online. Most of the information, they will share the information online. They don't do handbills for some of these opportunities. So get a smartphone. Your phone must be able to access internet 24/7, so that even if somebody sends you a mail, an opportunity is closing in the next 24 hours, at least you can do something. Number 2, have an email address. You will be surprised that some people still don't have email address even at this age. And one of the things we do for teenagers now, we coach them some of the things you must become or do or have before age 20. One of it is you must have a functioning email address. Why? Because they want to register for post UTME, they need their email. So most of them will now start learning how the thing works at that time. It's already getting late. They're supposed to have learned that since. Then have a good laptop, at least, that you can type and access some of these opportunities. Let's move on. So come up with an idea. This idea can be a new or an existing idea. It could be a for-profit or non-profit, which most people know as NGO. Now, this is very important because your idea is not compulsory that it has to be for profit. It could be a social enterprise. That means you make money, but you have a social component in your business, that your business is not just focused on the money alone, but other things that can help the community, that can help the society at large. Once you know what you want to do, give it a name, a logo, create a brand around it. All right, so once you have that idea, like you're building business, building and construction, that's your field, building and construction. You've not opened shop, but you are already paying for graphic design to do you a logo. You're already paying for business name registration. Now, it's very important for you to have this if you are looking for funding opportunities. If you are going for bet, they will ask you if you are registered with CAC. They will pick people that are registered with CAC before people that are not registered. Yes. So it's just good to know what you are saving for. If you are saving your money for, let's say you save 500,000, you should know what that money is going for, especially for your business. So I registered my first business when I was serving. I served in Abeokuta, and I registered it for 9,000 naira at that time, in 2011 thereabouts. So that was my first business. I studied agriculture, so the first kind of business I can think of is agricultural business. So I just registered it at that time, and that was what I used for BET. So at that time, I'm still a serving corps member. I was not really doing any major activity for the business, but I have a registered business. If they call somebody to come and do something that has a registered business, I can show up. Even though I don't have office yet, I don't have a farm yet, I don't have, the only thing I have certificate. I have that one. But in terms of physical structure for the farm, I don't have anything. I got the TIN number, tax certification number. Then the next one, I opened a corporate bank account for it, even though I've not started any physical trading or planting. Now with this, I was able to be selected for BET. Why? Because I know exactly what I want to do. I know I'll begin to structure it, and these are part of structure that you're talking about. I begin to structure it in such a way that the only thing I just need is maybe land for farming or office to open. Later, I now apply as a new business that I've not even, this thing I'm writing about, I've not registered it. That was what I put there. And I said it's just a brand new idea. And the idea is the idea of a business hub. And they picked it. So it's not compulsory for Tony Elumelu. Your idea could be just a brand new idea and they can pick you. But the only thing is, once you know they have picked you, quickly go and register the business. Why? Because it's part of the criteria to access the funding. If you don't have all this, you won't be able to open a bank account. And if you don't have all this, they will not pay that money into your personal bank account. It must be in a corporate bank account. There is a story behind your business. So for example, when I was writing mine, I was saying something like, I've learned so many things. I've been to Lagos Business School to learn business. I had MBA. I have enough experience to run a business hub. And so putting all those stories together, I was now able to say that's the reason why I want to start this idea. Some people, like somebody that started a mushroom farming business, he said she has been learning farming from the mother in the village over time, and he is looking at starting something big this time around. So somebody that had that story, you say, okay, you'll be learning farming with your mother. That's interesting. Now you want to start something on your own. Good. So you must have a story. Your story could be that I've worked somewhere, I've learned the business, I rose to so level in that business, and I'm now looking at starting my own business. Your story could be that when they were sending people away from banking or from your job, you are part of the people they retrenched and they send you away, and you're looking for new things to start, and you look inward and you look at your skills. By the time they are reading that stories, they are already clapping for you that this is what we want to see. But if you don't have a story and you just say, introduce yourself, and you are not telling us story, you are just saying, okay, I'm from Lagos State, my siblings, I have 5 siblings. You are just telling things that are not related to something. So that story aspect, most people will get 0. Top 1,500, just your idea. But your story will get you to the top 1,000. So if you don't have a good story at that time, they will begin to screen people, even though your idea is very good, but you don't have a good story to back it up. So let's move on. Yes. Okay, most of the grants, they have criteria and you have to study it very well. Now, for BAT, they will advise that your business must be in existence for like 6 months. And the only way to prove that is your CAC registration. Not necessarily that, come and visit me, I have big office, I have been existing for 5 years, but you don't have CAC registration. They assume that you are not a serious business owner. You understand? So if you have a CAC that is saying, okay, you'll be existing for like 6 months, then they can begin to, then they also will ask you to summarize your ideas in 300 words. So if you can, when you are summarizing your idea, you have to add your story with the idea. Don't always forget that story part when you are writing grants application. That story is very important. So you say those stories, then you now introduce your idea. So then one of the things that we can do together is, at least because you are in this live seminar, throughout this year, any grant you want to apply for, once you write it yourself, we can help you to review it for free. For free, at least that will be our gift to you. So anything you want to, usually we charge people for reviews. So, but because you are here, anything you want to review, you get it for free. But if you want us to write for you, we'll also give you discount. We'll not do that one for free, but we'll give you a discount. It depends on your application. You know, application that is 300 words is different from my application that is 50 questions. So the way we will charge it will be different. And the number of hours or days we will spend on it will also be different. So write a full detailed business plan for the idea. Now for this business plan, we also organize trainings on how people can learn how to write a business plan. Now the business plan is very important because even though you don't have office yet, but you must have this. You must have this. So this, we move on. Let's move on. So these are the outline for a business plan. Like I said, you don't need to write down, we'll send it to you. Executive summary, business description, product and services, market analysis. To take you through a business plan class, at least minimum 2 days, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it's not something that we can teach at a live seminar like this, that we still have a lot of things to cover. But one of the things we encourage you to do is just know that for your business, you must write your business plan. The other thing we can do for you is, if you write the business plan yourself, we can also review it for you for free. Then if you want us to write for you, we give you at a very good discount. You understand? What we encourage people to do, once you have your idea, develop a business plan for it, then just know that that idea is what you want to do with your life. If it's 3 ideas you have, and those are the things that you are passionate about, then come up with 3 business plan for them. Any opportunity you see, that's what you will be submitting. You are not going to change it. Don't do fashion today, and because these people are looking at agriculture, then you want to now change yourself, your idea, and everything about you, and change to agriculture. And you know that you don't have a CAC registration for agriculture. You don't have. So one thing we encourage people to do is, if you have three ideas, register the three ideas. We are just focused, and because we are focused, we have received a lot of opportunities along that line. So let's move on. We are running out of time now. So you look for grants opportunity. There is one of the handouts printed item that we'll give to you. We have about 18 business grant and funding opportunities there. So it's for you to study and go through them. You will see all the website there. This one, do we all have this? Okay, you will see all. That's the reason why we printed it for you, so you can go through that. So, and these are the things we've been talking about, and they are also in that one. Let's move on. Believe that you can win. That's faith. Be positive even if you don't win, and that's determination and persistent. And be connected with people with information. So like you are connected to us now, it's very good. Let's move on. So get connected to a mentor. In this field, there are people that have accessed a lot of grants, funding opportunities. So once you are connected to them, then they share with you insider information. So write a proposal for your idea. Proposal is always good for NGO funding. So the proposal is different from business plan. So if you have an NGO, there is a way you must package that NGO. One, you have to register it. To register NGO now, we do CSA registration in our organization. For the business name, we charge 30,000 for it, and you get it within 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. For NGO, we charge 150,000 for it, and that one takes at least 5 to 6 weeks, but sometimes it can even take more than that. So and we are getting there now. We are getting there now. So your proposal must contain the following: your cover letter, your abstract or executive summary, problem statement or need statement, methods to meet the needs, monitoring and evaluation plan, project and program sustainability, institutions experience and capacity, and budget. Now this one is totally different from business plan. And most of the grants, there are some organizations like T.Y. Danjuma Foundation. They are set up to finance NGOs. Now what you submit to them is not business plan, it's a proposal. So this kind of proposal, you just do your budget at the end of it. So they open their own application every year too, but they have specific areas of target. It's not everything they want to do. So it's what they want to do that they will finance. So you must first study them to know what they want to do, then you finance it. Let's move on. So your NGO must have a team. We are gradually shifting to non-profit now. We have talked a lot about for-profit business. Now some NGO can focus on education, girl child, climate, economic empowerment, drug rehabilitation, health, environment. So you can have NGO set up to focus on any of these things, but there is something we call sustainable development goals. Let's move on. Good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institution, partnership for goals. Now, all these things are what your businesses or your NGO must fit in. So, if you are into education now, you will know that you are number 4, quality education. So, we want to reduce poverty and things like that. So let's move on. So you can Google it and learn more about it. Okay, life below water simply means that any activity that your business is doing that is around water. For example, some people set up business to build aquariums. All right, those people now is life below water. And there are some people that their own, for example, if you are into fish farming, anything that has to do with water, and you know that water is not just what is above it, it's always inside it. So anything you are doing that has to do with water, then life below water is very good for you. Let's move on. Develop a website or a blog for your idea. It could be a free or paid one. This is very important. Now, why did Tony Elumelu decided to just pick my business hub idea? It's because I was able to show them my website that I've been doing this online before, so I need money to open my first outlet as a business hub. And they saw the website and said, this is a good one, and they picked my organization. So there are a lot of things that I've applied for that when people get to my website, they just know that this person is really doing what they say he's doing, and they will pick me. So you need an online presence beyond just having a Facebook account, and they trust all the things they see online. And sometimes you are not even there to convince them that I'm doing this thing, I'm passionate about it. What can they see? And you see that what we are doing today, we ensure that we are documenting it, we are recording, we are snapping pictures, we are ensuring that we are documenting everything we are doing. People want to know what you are doing, but you might not be there when they will be asking questions. Now, if you have like one of the things we do in our organization is we help people to set up their blog. So for honey, you can have a blog that talks about honey, that also you can sell your honey through that platform. You understand? Your fashion, the building materials, you can have a blog for it. And it helps you, at least you know that you are progressing. So some of the things you will spend your money on is on blogging. Don't worry, there's still a section on blogging. You will learn more how those things works and how you can position yourself for it. Then we will now know how we can pay you, how you can pay us to do it for you. Now, there are some websites we want you to subscribe to. You are already on my website. There is another one called opportunitydesk.com. Opportunitydesk.com. So, like I said here, it is not every opportunity you should apply for, but study the one which fits your business idea and apply for it. It's not everything. For example, that BET. Some people, when they look at it, they might say it's not for them because they don't have the time for training, going to Lagos Business School. Sometimes you will spend a lot of money doing that activity alone. So let's move on as we begin to round up. You can take your business plan to commercial banks. Big businesses, they go to all these banks, they get loans. In fact, some of them, they might not even be the one to write the business plan, but once they know the MD will call the person that will write the business plan, and on relationship, they will release loans, funding for you. And that's the reason why we have to build our own relationship too, build our network, so that if you know the MD of a bank and you want to get loan from that bank, is on top of T, you will see CDD. All right, you will not just go there and be talking to people that are not decision maker, and they will say, okay, come back next week, come back next month. And if you don't have collateral and guarantors and all those things can be very frustrating. So you can sell your major asset to start your business. Your assets, sell them off, start. Let's say, for example, somebody wants to start honey bee production, and you have to first go and learn how to even farm the honey bee, and they ask you pay 50,000. Sell the things you have, take the money, go and learn. The knowledge you have will give you capacity to earn at the end of the day. So let's look at the last or second to the last thing. The easiest way to raise funds, do you want to hear? It is to raise it from yourself, like I've talked about. Save your salary for your startup. Sell any major asset you have to start that business. Sell your car. Some people have sold their car to start their business before. Your phone, your shares. If you have shares, if you have 3 phones and you need to start a business, sell 2, keep 1. Go and start that business. Let's move on. So advice for startups, for young people just about to start business, don't focus on borrowing. A lot of people, they've killed the business before even starting. When you borrow money to start, use your own money to start. Focus on service side of your business. There are some businesses like your business now. Don't start with by thinking, okay, I want to buy a machine that will cost 10 million naira. If you start with that thinking, most likely you might not start anything. So you look at what are those things that I can do now that I might not really, I just need the skill to do it. I don't really need equipment, or I can outsource equipment for it. Those things will help you. Learn a skill and trade with it. For example, your building business, you can look at what skill in this building business that if I learn it, they can call me for work and they can pay me heavy for it. It might even be setting of ties. You understand? Because in your industry, people pay for skills. If you have that skills, then you can use it to raise money for the bigger vision that you have. Then the final one, okay, funding progression in business. Use your personal money to start the business. Now this is just telling us how people assess funding and the way you should go. When you start with yourself, then you now go through your family and friends to raise further support. Then from there you look for grant opportunities. Then from there you look for venture capitalists and angel investors. Then from there you look for loan. So loan should be the last thing on your mind when you are looking for funding. But most of the time, it's that loan that people think about first, even though their personal money is not there. So your own personal money must be there first. Okay, let's look at the last thing. Document your business or your NGO. Documentation. You have to keep record, take pictures, sign documents, have bank statements, have video documentation of your NGO work or your business work, have your website, your Facebook, your blog site. When you do that, you can use that as evidence to show what you are doing. So I think that's the end of our presentation today. So I will entertain more questions during the question and answer period.